I've been in the analytics space for, oh gosh, almost 30 years, 35 years maybe. All my life, really, I've worked in data and analytics. And I have worked at Microsoft. I was at Microsoft for about 10 years, building a large part of their data and analytics platform, their data integration, their business intelligence platform. Power Pivot, which became Power BI. So I have a big background there. I was at Click Technologies for about 5-6 years, building their second generation product, ClickSense. So I've been doing a lot of that. And I have a kind of very simple theory about this, which is that essentially every company today is a data company, no matter what you do. No matter what you do in your business, you're a data company. Data is not just something which drives Amazon and Google and Microsoft. Data drives all our businesses today. And if you're a data company, and we all are, then you really need to be an analytics company. In fact, I tend to take it further. I say data without analytics is a wasted asset, and analytics without action is a wasted effort. Analytics today has, I say, become very, very important. Everybody coming out of business school, everybody coming out of a marketing course understands, at least to some extent, how to use marketing analytics. And so it becomes important for us to be able to present information in the right format. In our industry, that if you give people the right information in the right format at the right time, they'll make a better decision, which is true, but you never quite know what the right information at the right time in the right format is going to be. And so we've seen the world of self-service develop, where people can build their own analytics because we can't know in advance all the analytics that you're likely to want. And there's a problem with self-service, which is we started off building self-service to enable people to do things on their own without requiring the input of IT. And we ended up throwing everything over to the business user, and it didn't become self-service, it became do-it-yourself. The truth is, look at the Gartner reports, look at the Forrester reports, look at the IDC reports, and you'll see that business intelligence, for all this development, still hasn't penetrated more than about 28% of the addressable market. And the reason is because there's not much more than 28% of people who have the time, the energy, or the insight to dig into all that. And yet, every line manager, every sales manager, every person in the sales force can benefit from better analytics to inform their decisions. Everyone who makes a decision can be better informed. So we need to be able to serve better insights to people without cutting off all those other avenues for building your own analytics, building your own insights when you need to, but you also need to be served better. And this is where I come to the technologies that Lumenore have been developing. I think Salesforce is a tremendous asset for any company which has it. I really, when I worked for a company which had large Salesforce system, I just loved digging into Salesforce and understanding what was going on in there. There's so many patterns and insights that were in there if you could apply your analytic energy to it. But again, the truth is a lot of people don't have the time. They don't have necessarily the technical knowledge to do that. And a lot of the self-service tools that we have today, the do-it-yourself tools that we have today, very often will enable you to connect to Salesforce, and beyond that, you're on your own. Now you have to understand the hundreds of tables and the hundreds of entries that are there and all hundreds of field names in order to be able to make sense of that data. And that's a job in itself. And if you're a sales manager, if you're a sales director, if you're a sales analyst, that's a huge job to do that. So I really like the fact that we're talking today about how to get started with Salesforce data. That is actually, I would say, 80% of the problem. As in so many things in life, actually just getting started on it is a major problem. But it's particularly true of analytics because there's three things which get in the way of getting started with analytics. The first thing is actually just making that connection. Can I connect and can I make sense of the data once I've connected? Can I navigate all these tables and columns and so on that are there, field names? So that's the first problem. It's just the connectivity and understanding the metadata and the data that's there. The second problem is, do I know what I'm looking for? Do I actually know what to do with all this data? What questions do I ask? And how do I map the questions I want to ask to the data that's there? And so this second problem of where do I even start? Where do I start looking? What are the first things I should be asking? Can actually be quite intimidating. And then the third problem on top of this that gets in the way of people doing effective analytics is, okay, I've connected to the data. I know what I want to ask. What's the best way of delivering those insights to myself, to my team? What we need is another generation of platform, a new generation that enables us to do these three things: the connectivity, the asking of the right questions, and the way in which we share and present these answers to people all have to be, if you like, refreshed for a new generation of technologies and a new generation of users. And what you need is something which automates that insight. The data you have in Salesforce is a tremendous asset for your business. It has so much value in there, which is not just in the data itself. It's in the connections between the data. It's in the trends that you can find within that data. It's in the hidden relationships within that data that can be very difficult to find. I say, this is what I think this workshop is going to be great for. It's going to reveal to you the power of your data, the value of the analytics, and the extra insight that you can get and the additional actions that you can take with greater scale and greater confidence than you'll get from many other systems on the market. And certainly, much easier, you'll get started much more quickly than you could if you were trying to build all this from scratch with your own self-service systems.